Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that the land we gather on, Mokinstis, is the ancestral territory of the Sitapi, the Blackfoot people, comprising the Sisika, Gane, and Pigane nations, as well as Treaty 7 signatories, the Tsuut'ina Nation and the Iarhi Nakota Bearspaw, Shiniki, and Wesley First Nations. Excuse me for a second. Today, this land is home to Otisimiwak, Métis Government Districts 5 and 6, as well as many First Nations and Inuit peoples from across Turtle Island. We acknowledge that there has been art, music, dance, storytelling, and ceremony on this land since time immemorial, and it is in the spirit of this land and its people that we do our work. For your reference, here is my contact information. This slide will be up at the end as well if you would like to take a screenshot to write it down. I also have Natasha Jensen, another project lead working on this program, and our coordinator, Helen Hugh, on the contact list. Helen can help answer questions about our application platform and help with any technical issues. Make sure to reach out early with any questions. With me today is my colleague, Tracy Wiley. She is supporting me with Zoom. I may mention a few links throughout the presentation, and she will be dropping them into the chat. If you are having any technical issues during the presentation, you can send Tracy a direct message through the chat. We are going to start with some information about Calgary Arts Development and the Public Art Program. Our overarching vision is a creative, connected Calgary through the arts, where everyone is empowered to create a creative life. To live a creative life. Our mission is the arts have the power to create vibrant communities and bring together diverse voices and perspectives. We support artists in the development of their skills and the expression of their creativity. Calgary Arts Development supports and strengthens the arts to benefit all Calgarians.
Pardon my interruption.
Yes.
Tiffany, I don't think the slide deck is showing.
I'm sorry about this. Sorry, everyone. I'm not the best at Zoom. Let me try this again.
Thank you. Oh, excellent.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. And the recording, I'm sorry, did I miss that? I'm not.
It's recording, isn't it? I apologize, everyone. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for catching that, Tracy. Oh, now I can see the ASL. Perfect. Perfect. All right. What is public art? At Calgary Arts Development, we define public art as art in the public realm that is initiated and led by an artist. Public art can take different forms and levels of participation, last for a few hours or for decades, share community interest and identity, communicate the significance of a place, teach about history and culture, become an iconic representation, delight and engage people, make people think and wonder, and memorialize and mark important events. As the city's designated Arts Development Authority, we invest and allocate municipal funding for the arts provided by the City of Calgary and leverage these funds to provide any additional resources to the arts sector. Our programs support hundreds of arts organizations, individual artists, and artists collectives in Calgary. We are uniquely positioned to deliver and create future public art programs built upon our knowledge of and strong relationships with the art community. We are creating a public art program that is engaging, relevant, and accountable. Our intent is to foster meaningful connections and dialogue between artists and communities. Utilizing art in the public realm to reflect Calgary's diverse stories and values. Calgary Arts Development role is commissioning new artworks through open competition, programming, for example, youth programs, artist development, and temporary exhibitions. Building public art awareness and activating the collection. While the city is responsible for collection conservation and maintenance, activation of the collection. This is Mao and Chris's art bust titled Piece Together from 2025. Here's a quick overview of the Art Bust program timeline. Applications are accepted until September 23rd, 2025 at 4:30 Mountain Standard Time. We encourage submitting your application as early as possible. Late submissions will not be accepted. All applications will be reviewed and assessed after the deadline until early November 2025. Notifications will go out via email end of November, letting applicants know if they were successful or not. In December, selected artists will be onboarding and will begin developing their concept and artwork. Early spring artist interviews will be filmed. These interviews will later be used to communicate the program and the ideas and creative process behind each art bus. Mid-April, artists will submit their final artwork files. End of May, the Calgary Transit buses will be wrapped with the original artworks. Program overview. Calgary Arts Development invites artists and artist collectives to submit qualifications for an opportunity to wrap the exterior of a public transit bus with new artwork. The buses will be in service for a minimum of 12 weeks in the summer of 2026. In addition to the exterior bus wrapping, there are interior display opportunities that will share information about the artist and reproductions of their pre-existing work. We welcome artists in any stage of their career and working in any discipline who live in Calgary Mohkinstsis to apply. Residency requirements will be waived for First Nations, Métis, and Inuit artists and collectives practicing and operating in the Treaty 7 region. Artists previously selected for Art Bus or Center City Banners 2023 to 2025 or currently selected for Center City Banners 2026 to 2028 are not eligible to apply. Up to 7 artists or artist collectives will be selected through the request for qualifications. Selected artists will work with Calgary Arts Development to create and refine an original artwork in response to one of the following themes that considers the multiple contexts of Calgary and the communities the buses will connect with. Honor Indigenous stories and perspectives. Public transit as social spaces. Share stories of your community. Bring beauty, joy, whimsy, and hope. This initiative provides opportunities for the public to engage with public art in unexpected spaces. Bring temporary art into a wide variety of communities and showcase the talent and diversity of artists living within Calgary Mohkinstsis, as well as First Nation, Métis, and Inuit artists and collectives practicing in the Treaty 7 region. Here is Phoebe Riel's Art Bus in Transit from 2024. Artist fee. So successful artists and collectives will be paid $9,000, not including GST per art bus. This total all-inclusive amount includes all costs associated with engagement, creation, and communication for the artwork. In addition, selected artists or collectives will be provided with 4 books of transit tickets for inspiration and research during the concept phase or to ride the new art buses after installation. Commitment to equity. Calgary Arts Development is committed to working with communities that have been historically underserved. We are guided by the core principles of equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility. We are committed to the process of eliminating institutional racism, ableism, and barriers in our programs, policies, and practices by centering the creativity and leadership of those communities most impacted by structural inequities. Our commitment outlines a vision for a city where Calgarians of all backgrounds can access, create, and participate in art as part of their everyday lives. The 4 pillars of this vision are equity, creating equitable access for Calgarians who have had less opportunity for philanthropic and governmental support due to systematic barriers that exist in our community. Diversity, supporting artistic endeavors that reflect our diverse community and the supporting the work of artists of diverse backgrounds, inclusion, engaging a wide variety of voices and perspectives in shaping and furthering the work that we do, accessibility, eliminating systematic barriers that prevent people who encounter physical, mental, or cultural barriers to space, programs, and services from participating in the arts. We want to honor lived experience and the intersectional and unique experiences of different people and communities by following a nothing about us without us policy. If you are creating work about a specific community, that the community needs to be actively engaged and consulted, and there needs to be a clear and intentional relationship. Aligning with our commitment to EDIA, we will strive to work with applicants in a one-size-fits-one way. Reach out with any concerns about how your project fits into the microgrant program, into the ArtBus program, or our application process. There are things that we will not tolerate, such as hate speech, cultural appropriation, and active exclusionary behavior. So please be aware that applications or projects that contain this will not be accepted. This is Moe Blanco's ArtBus titled Cementology. Program description. This initiative provides opportunities for 7 artists or collectives to share their artwork on public transit. Selected artists will create new original artwork using a template designed specifically to wrap the exterior of a bus. Additionally, artists may submit their existing artworks that will be reproduced for display inside the bus. The artwork will be installed for approximately 12 weeks between May and October 2026. Once selected, artists will be creating original artwork using a template designed specifically to wrap the exterior of a bus in response to one of the following themes. So a little more in depth. Honor Indigenous stories and perspectives. This could mean share stories of Indigenous culture, traditions, and history. Share contemporary Indigenous perspectives and ideas. Explore paths towards reconciliation and inspire dialogue, understanding, and change. Public transit as social space may mean explore the social dynamics of public transit as a shared space where people from diverse backgrounds come together to create moments of interaction, connection, and community building. Reflect on the role of transportation in shaping urban landscapes and connecting communities. All right. Share stories of community. You can delve into your experiences of how you relate and connect to the community around you. Celebrate diverse communities and rich cultural histories. And the last theme, bring beauty, joy, whimsy, and hope. Share a sense of whimsy, surprise, and joy with Calgarians and visitors. Only select artists will be asked to create a new artwork for the bus exterior based upon the themes indicated in the call. For art displayed inside the bus, 4 pre-existing artworks will be selected. These images are not required to relate to the proposed theme and are instead a way to showcase your body of work. In addition, artworks will not be approved if artwork does not comply with or respect cultural protocols, artwork uses present Indigenous cultural material, traditional knowledge, or stories without express permission from the community and or a clear connection to the originating community. Artwork willfully or in bad faith promotes intolerance, hatred, or hate speech to incite violence or harm. Artwork encourages activity that is illegal or contravenes provincial or federal law or municipal bylaws. Artwork promotes contests and competitions or fundraising activities. Artwork relates to campaigning for a specific political candidate or party in an election. And artwork would be construed as advertising. This is Dr. Haley Havishield's bus titled Brothers and Sisters. Selected artists must use the provided templates and work closely with Calgary Arts Development's design consultant to ensure they are preparing files that can be successfully converted into an exterior vinyl bus wrap and interior cards. Exterior vinyl wrap. Artists are responsible for ensuring they have the appropriate equipment and software to deliver final files according to the following requirements. Final files must have a resolution of 900 pixels per inch and be in CYMK. Files must be delivered in either a TIFF or EPS file format. All text must be converted to outlines. Here's an example of a bus exterior. To demonstrate the sides of the bus selected artists will create artwork for and the functioning elements of the bus that cannot be wrapped. The areas that cannot be wrapped covered with vinyl are indicated in pink. The front of the bus is not included in the wrap. The front passenger door and first passenger window, driver's window, lights, reflectors, air vents, and license plate. The remaining windows on the three-sided bus wrap will be perforated so passengers can still see out the windows. Interior display opportunities. Selected images can be printed up to 34 inches width by 10 inches height or 83.6 centimeters width by 25.4 centimeters height. Files must have a resolution of 150 pixels per inch, be in CYMK format. Files must be delivered in either a TIFF or EPS file format. All text must be converted to outlines. All artwork must be original and belong to the artist. An example of interior cards displayed in the interior of a bus can be seen here in Sidonie Warren's art bus titled Interwoven. The selected artist will participate in an engagement activity facilitated by Calgary Arts Development. Create and refine an original artwork that responds to one of the proposed themes within a 4-month timeframe. Submit their artwork for comments, revisions, and approval. Artwork must be original to the artist and created for the purpose of this call. Work with the design team to adjust their artwork to fit the bus and address parts of the bus that need to be vinyl free. The bus interior may also display reproductions of the artist's pre-existing artworks, subject to approval by Calgary Arts Development, the City of Calgary, and Calgary Transit. Artists will supply an installation layout that identifies the order of the artwork and accompanying text for each interior card. Develop and provide an artist bio and artwork statements that may be used in communications about the program. Work with Calgary Arts Development staff to communicate program development. And participate in a celebration event and provide a brief artist talk with involvement in the project. Note the artist's scope of work and budget does not include printing, installing, or maintaining the bus wrapping and artwork reproductions. These tasks will be financed separately and managed by Calgary Arts Development. Program goals. Provide opportunities for artists of all levels to share their artworks and stories. Bring public art into a variety of areas and communities that may not historically have as much public art. Educate Calgarians about what public art can be and how it can change a landscape. Create connections between different areas of our city. Provide pedestrians and drivers with an engaging visual art experience. Enhance the overall experience of people who use public transportation. Celebrate Calgary's cultures, communities, histories, geography, and diversity. Provide a temporary and impactful public art experience for all Calgarians. This is Rory and Polly's Art Bus in Transit 2024. Program criteria and scoring. Successful applicants will be selected by an independent assessment committee made up of artists, arts professionals, community representatives, and subject matter experts. The membership of the peer assessment committee will be chosen through public nominations and staff expertise. Assessment committees are chosen to represent the broad diversity of Calgary and its religion, beliefs, nation, physical and neurological identities, etc. Assessment committees are held to the Calgary Arts Development Group agreements intended to commit to open, generous, and respectful evaluations and communications. You can read through the group agreements found on our website. Anyone can participate on a Calgary Arts Development Assessment Committee by completing an assessor nomination form found online or by emailing publicart@calgaryartsdevelopment.com. If anyone wants to ask about group agreements later, I can clarify as well. Submissions will be, oh, I'm going to do a live run through of the registration and application process. Before we get into that, I want to go over the application submission requirements in more depth. Submissions will be evaluated on the following criteria. Letter of interest is worth 50 points and has a maximum word count of 500 words. In your letter of interest, provide a response to each of the following statements. Explain your interest in this opportunity. Specify how your experience and art practice will contribute to this project. Indicate which theme from the guidelines you have selected and describe how you will respond to that theme. Share how this opportunity will support your practice. Note that your art practice does not have to be digital illustration or design or traditional two-dimensional works like painting. If your work is in other mediums, for example, beading, fiber, or or text or ceramics like ArtBus 2025 artist duo Mao and Chris, I want to incorporate this into how you respond to your selected theme. This is welcomed. If selected, you will be responsible for high resolution photograph slash documentation or flatbed scan this other medium and to lay it on the templates that will be provided to selected artists. In your letter of interest, if you are working in this way, what your approach would be to implement this other medium into the ArtBus artwork design. Curriculum Vitae or CV is worth 20 points. It's a demonstration of relevant experience in public art, visual art, or design. The images section of the application is worth 30 points. A minimum of 5 and up to 10 images of existing finished artworks uploaded as individual media files. The following information must be included for each image: title, date, size, materials or medium, and a brief description. A demonstration that the artist's work lends well to this medium, and they are a demonstration of artistic skills and approach needed to deliver a compelling design for the project. Uploaded artwork must be original and belong to the artist. If artworks were done in collaboration with another artist, indicate the name of the collaborating artist or artists and describe your role in the collaboration. If the artwork was created as a commercial commission, indicate the commissioning client and describe your role in the development of the artwork. Failure to credit collaborators or co-creators and/or uploading artworks that do not belong to you and/or are infringing on another's copyright will make your application ineligible for assessment. If you are an artist working in commercial design, it is recommended to also submit examples that demonstrate your own artistic voice. Scoring process. Assessment committee members will review applications and rate the level to which they agree or disagree that the information meets the program criteria listed in the section above based on the following scale: strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree. The assessment committee will review all eligible application and complete applications. After scoring, the assessment committee will discuss the top 20 scoring applications, any other applications they wish to bring forward and discuss, and make the final artist and/or collectives selection in a meeting facilitated by public arts staff. The application process is competitive. Decisions of the assessment committee are final, and the committee reserves the right to select no applications. All right. Let's get into the process of how to apply. Applications are only accepted through our online platform. You will be able to access the interface through this button on the left side of the CADA website. or calgaryartsdevelopment.smartsimple.ca, or by clicking the Apply Now button found in the guidelines. We are going to watch this short video that demonstrates the registration process if you do not have an account set up in Smart Simple, and then go through the application process in the online platform.
I'm going to go over how to apply for a program. We use an online platform called Smart Simple. If you already have an account with us, you can log in right away to start or continue your application by clicking on the Login button here. If you do not already have an account with us, you will need to create one and set up your profile prior to opening an application. You can do so by clicking Create an Account here. If you're an individual artist, please select Individual Artist, and likewise for artist collectives. You will need to fill out all the mandatory fields within the form here. Once you are finished, please click I am not a robot and submit. You should receive an email from Smart Simple to finish setting up your password. The Open Opportunities page will display all the open opportunities available for applying to. You'll see a short description of each program listed here, and if you would like to download a PDF copy of the program guidelines, click on View. When you are ready to apply for the program, click on Apply to begin your application. You'll be directed to this page where you will click Begin Application. You'll notice that the first tab within the application is Contact Information. The following section of the application will automatically populate based on the information provided in your profile. It's important that you keep all of your profile information up to date prior to submitting your application. The portions of your profile that are ported over include the type of applicant you are, individual artist or artist collective. Artist resume or curriculum vitae will be ported over here as well. Your artistic discipline, years of practice, and your artistic practice statement. A common troubleshooting topic is if this area is empty, or if your artist resume or CV is not here, it means that your profile is not complete or that you haven't uploaded this in your profile. You can do this by navigating to this icon at the top right corner and clicking My Profile. You want to make sure that all of this information is complete and that you click on Submit Profile here. The second tab within this application is Submission Requirements. You'll be asked how you heard about this call. You'll be asked to include a letter of interest and support material. For the letter of interest, please refer to the evaluation guidelines in the Call to Artists. There you will see the specific questions that need to be responded to within your letter of interest. For support materials, please make sure you submit a minimum of 5 images and a maximum of 10 images within this media gallery. You can click on Browse Files here, or you can drop files within this window. You'll see the file types that are allowed here. Once you have completed uploading all of your images to the photo library, you will need to provide some more information, such as the title, the year completed, the size, the medium, and a brief description that includes the location, if applicable. You can do this by navigating to the pencil icon just below the image, and it will say Properties. The default title will be the file name, but you can change this to the title of your artwork. You can select from the calendar the date that the artwork was completed. For dimensions, you can enter the dimensions of the artwork. And if this is not applicable, you can enter not applicable. For medium, you can enter what medium it is. And you can provide a brief description of the artwork. You have a maximum of 100 words for the brief description. Once you have completed all of the necessary fields, you can click on Save. You'll need to do this for each image that you have uploaded. Like to save the progress in your application and come back to work on it at another time, you can click on Save Draft here. And you can always navigate back to your application from the home page by scrolling down to My Applications. And in draft status, I have 4. So I can click on Open, and it will take me back to my application here. When you are ready to submit your application, you can click on Save and Validate. This will let you know if there are any mandatory fields that you have not yet completed. And when you are ready to submit your application, you can click on Submit here. There will be a splash page that asks if you are sure you want to submit your application. There's a reminder that your profile must be up to date prior to submitting because there are portions that are ported over from your profile.
All right, thanks for watching. Need help applying? Calgary Arts Development is committed to open and fair, and transparent processes. We recognize that barriers within Calgary, within the arts community exist, particularly for equity-seeking communities, and that there are many different entry points into an artistic practice and career in the arts. Our applicant support and accessibility policy is available for applicants who may need support from program staff or financial assistance to access support from someone outside of Calgary Arts Development. We will work one-on-one with people to help find solutions that suit their abilities and situations. If you have any questions or need help completing an application, please contact project leads Tiffany Woolman or Natasha Jensen. Application tips. The goal is to paint a complete narrative of who you are, what you do, why it is relevant to the goals and themes of the program, and how your skills and experience makes you a strong candidate for this program, and how this opportunity will impact and grow you as an artist. Here are some general tips for a strong application. Review the entire guidelines. There are a lot of important details in this document, and it will help you avoid holes in your application. Contact us as early as possible if you require assistance. The more time we have, the better we can help. We can review your applications for completeness up to 10 days before the deadline. Make sure your Smart Simple Artist profile is complete and up to date. Note that the curriculum vitae or CV you have in your artist profile transfers over to the application for this program and will be the CV assessors are reviewing to better understand your experience and skill set. In your letter of interest, make sure to address all the points found under the Program Criteria and Scoring tab of the guidelines. If writing isn't your strength, Feel free to write the question out and answer below in 1 or 2 sentences or points to get your story and ideas across. Use plain language. Avoid jargon or technical language, remembering that the assessment committee will be made up of people from many different practices and experiences. Assessors really appreciate being able to easily read and understand an application. Select a theme from the themes provided. Provide clear image files that demonstrate your unique style, approach, and artistic skills to highlight your ability to succeed in this project. You may want to include artwork images demonstrating experience working in public art, creating large-scale art, working with digital files, and/or creating art with horizontal formats. To avoid disqualification, only provide your own artwork. If sharing a collaborative project or client project, be clear to identify your contribution and include the names of the artists. This can be included in your letter of interest or in the description details section with your images. Demonstrate capacity, awareness, and potential. We are looking for applicants who have thought about the amount of work involved in producing the artwork and larger files, the timeline, and how it will impact their communities. It is also helpful to have someone read your application. The questions they may ask may uncover gaps or assumptions you are making in the story you are telling. Sign up for our weekly newsletter to get the most up-to-date news and information from Calgary Arts Development. Learn about funding opportunities, explore public art, discover artists who are making our city a better place, and more. The sign up for the newsletter can be found at the bottom left-hand side of the website. Presley Mills Art Bus, titled Kinship, with her rescue pup, Bruno. Feel free to take a picture of our contacts. They can also be found in the guidelines. Reach out as early with any questions or if requiring assistance. Questions. We are hosting an open office hours online on Wednesday, August 20th from 11 to 1. To register, go to Eventbrite, and a Zoom link will be shared with you before the event. You can pop in for a few minutes or attend the whole 2 hours. I'm going to close this.
And then I think that might be it.
Okay, great. I'll just remind everyone again, open office hours next Wednesday, 11 to 1. There is an Eventbrite to sign up for that. Then we'll send you the link. I will remember to add the passcode this time and reach out to Natasha or myself with emails at any time. If you want your application reviewed for completeness, 10 days before the deadline. The sooner the better, though, because we get really busy right at the end. Thank you, everyone, for being patient and joining the info session today. Really excited to see everyone's applications.
Great.
Yeah. Thanks for all the thank yous in the chat, everyone. Thank you again to Shelby and Aaron and Tracy for helping with the presentation today.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Great. Gonna stop the recording now, and everyone's welcome to leave, I guess.